Alright, so I've had a few requests of people asking me how I put my fork setup on my little mx650. So I'm going to show you what I used. I know everybody's not going to do it this way, but I've done it. You know, this is my cheap little fork setup. This little fork setup that I put on here, I got about $110 in it all. I do not have the brakes hooked up yet because I got to get a block, aluminum block to put them on, but that's no problem right there. I just hadn't had time. And you know, I got the lights installed. Hadn't got the switch yet, but I got one I built it where I turn this one down to the ground. This one goes out. Now this was my little quick setup last night because it was Halloween weekend, birthday weekend, and me and a buddy wanted to go riding. So yeah, my switches, all my parts ain't come in, so I just stuck a little bitty 12-volt battery here. So at least I could go riding last night, and as you can see, they're pretty bright. But it worked last night for the ride. I got my step down and all that. I'm just waiting on my switch to come on to the handlebars that I hadn't got. My step down is all down here. All right, so let's get back to the fork install so we can get everybody going. All right, if you'll notice, this is what the top looks like. It's basically just a big washer. This right here is an all thread. I used all thread, and you know the nylon nuts. I built a small bracket, and I put all the original stuff back on it that I could. I built a little small L bracket. That aluminum there, and here's the other side, underneath side, what it looks like underneath that I done. There's my, this is the factory fender. I had to cut the tabs off of it. These are the little tabs that are on the fender when you have them. I had to cut all them off to get it. Didn't have to take a lot of tools, and it was not a hard job at all. But as you can tell, right there. All right, so let's get to what we got. So when you buy this fork setup, it comes, what I'm guessing, a 1-inch stem. So this 1-inch stem is pressed into the bottom down here at the bottom, in the bottom triple tree. All right, and then you got the top, and you'll notice how much shorter it is now. So what I done is I come down here and I measured the width of this bottom triple tree thing with a caliper. That's the caliper I used. So then what I done is I cut this off, and you can see where I cut it off. This right here is a little bit heat treated. My bandsaw would not cut it. It just bounced around on it, so I needed something to make heat. So what I used is I just used the old Harbor Freight saw, and I used a 24 tooth bimetal blade. Cut through it like melted butter, and you see how it turned the cut blades color. You need that heat to get through the hardening of this. So what I ended up using for my bolt, because nobody around here had them, and I looked and looked and looked, and I did it over the weekend, so everything was closed. So I went and actually bought some all thread. I think it's 3 foot, it's 36 inches. So this is the size of all thread I used. So let me get it. Hopefully you can see that. And it's 2,500 pound strength. If I do something with 2,500 pound strength on this thing, I'm doing something I ain't supposed to. So basically what I done is I cut this shaft off, the width of this right here, and I pressed it in with my little press over there. Then I marked it in the center. I marked it in the center of that shaft, like right here. I marked it, and I drilled in the center a 7/16 hole. So basically it looked like that in that little space. So I had a spacer this wide that I cut off, and I drilled it. So I pressed it back in here, and it has a lip on it, so you can only press it so far. So it's even there. All right, then if you come up to, I did the same exact thing here. This shaft, you can't tell it now, but this shaft is it goes here, then it steps out, and then it steps out again for the bottom. Well, if you run this shaft all the way, you can kind of see it right there where it's starting to step out. So basically, I put that shaft, I push that shaft right there, I measured, and I cut it off again. So that made me 2 spacers. So I drilled a hole in the middle of it. I drilled a hole in the middle of it here, in the middle of that spacer that's down in here. I run my all thread through the bottom with the nut on it, all the way up, and put the top triple tree on it with this and bolted it down, and gave me a little bit there. Then I cut all thread off. You can see where I cut it off and ground it right there. All right. So everything inside the post here is all factory razor. You have a little aluminum washer up here, and you have a little aluminum spacer down here. that comes on the razor with the original bearing. So all I did was take them out, and I drilled them 7/16, and that's a 7/16 drill bit to fit this all thread through. And that's all it took. I mean, it was that quick and that simple. So it was very simple and easy. You know, you do need a press, or you can just beat it with a hammer. You know, I have that, and then I've got a cheap drill press. Ooh, boat stuff everywhere. Y'all had to pardon my shop. That's my cheap drill press, and it worked fine. You just have to go slow. But that's it, guys. I mean, pretty simple. You know, I am missing one bolt here. I got to go get some new bolts here. Got that. The lights. I just installed these. The switch has not come. It's been on back order for three weeks now. So I just ended up canceling that order and ordered another one, so I could get them going, get my switch. But basically, I just built a little bracket out of aluminum right there and mounted it. I did have to make a hole a little bit bigger in the plastic for the cables to go through. And also for this fork swap, you will need to buy a longer axle bolt. And I got a video of it, and I'll put a little clip of it in at the end of the video showing this. And also, we did a ride last night. It was pretty fun, and I got a video of that too. But that's it, guys. I mean, it's a very easy install. It's just a little time consuming. It takes a while to drill these with a hand drill, but you know, drill press is not bad. But it's turning out to be a fun little project, you know. But all right, guys. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. I need to build my channel. And everybody that's watching my videos, I appreciate it so much. Thank you very much.